Hello, my name is Markus Münch. At first, I want to thank you for joining our presentation. I will show you today solutions for tooling machines. So we speak here about fine filtration for metal cutting processes on the examples grinding, honing, and lapping. So I work for MANN+HUMMEL. Probably most of you know this company from automotive filtration. Here we are the biggest filtration manufacturer worldwide, but hopefully some of you know us as well because we are already since 80 years in process filtration. Here you see some old product brochures. We started with centrifuges, with sieve filters, multi-cyclones, gap-type filters, or even the well-known ProFluid system. But now we are in a new era. We are now focusing on filter elements, the so-called ProFluid Plus system. It's a best-in-class solution for liquid filtration. Let's start with the base of operations. So if a customer needs filtration, we are usually confronted with three different topics, depending on the process of filtration. So at first, we are confronted with a wide diversity of lubricants. That can be synthetic oils, that can be mineral oils, that can be as well standard cooling lubricants, or even special designed lubricants with special additives the customer finally needs. And as well, we are confronted with different viscosities. From viscosity 1 centistoke next to water, it goes usually up to 19 centistokes. Most times it's not higher in the processes we are looking today. And this is as well one of the leading factors for finding the right filter element for your process. The next point is the particle sizes inside the loop. So in the grinding process, you will have particles from size 20 micron up to 80 micron. To get an idea how big or how small this is, a human hair usually is between 50 and 70 micron. Okay, then we have the honing process. It's a little bit finer. Here we have particles from 40 micron going down to 10 micron, or we go to lapping with 2 to 20 micron, or ultrasonic grinding, even a finer process. Okay, now I will show you two technical slides to get an idea how we recommend our filters for your daily usage. So here you see two axes. On the y-axis, you see the filtration efficiency. It starts with 50 on the left lower edge. And here on the x-axis, you see the particle size. So we recommend usually two flow rates. I will explain it on the example of Pf34, one of our filter lines. And here we recommend two flow rates. We have the optimum flow rate we recommend, which is in this example 25 liters per minute. And we have the maximum flow rate, which is 100 liters per minute. What I want to show you now is how this finally works. So if you look on the left, here you see the efficiency of 50% for particles around 6 micron at the maximum flow rate. That means for you that every second, or half of the 6 micron particles are filtered when you use the maximum flow rate we recommend, which is 100 liters per minute. But if you use the optimum flow rate, we are already filtering particles at the size of 3 micron with 50% efficiency. And finally, this is our range of our ProFluid plus B and C filter elements. They are often used in grinding processes. So of course, customers are looking for 99% of filtration, but here for explanation and seeing it's much better, it's good to look only here at the 50% efficiency. But of course, customer is interested to filter the finest particles at a high efficiency range. Okay, then we have other filter elements in 2 product lines, the so-called ProFluid plus M, which are used in lapping and honing processes. And as well, we have the ProFluid S and T, which is really the state-of-the-art product with a Teflon filter media. And you can backflush our PF15 elements I will show later. Okay, and everything is measured with a multipass test. That means we count the particles in front of the filter and after the filter. And here we refer to ISO 19438. Next slide. Here I want to show you the influence of the flow rate on the dust capacity. Dust capacity means how much dust can you save inside your filter media. Looking on the low line, ProFluid plus B, when you use the maximum flow rate we recommend, we can save only 20 grams per square meter of dust. But if you use the optimum flow rate, it will be the triple of this value. So here we are at 60 grams per square meter. That means the slower the flow rate is, the more dust your elements can capture. But finally, it's a decision regarding your volume of loop, and also it's a decision regarding invest, because if you use a filter element with 100 liters per minute, you only need 1, but if you use the optimal flow rate, you need 4 times this filter element, but then you can use it much longer. So it's a question of invest as well. Okay, next slide. Here you see our 2 product lines for metal cutting process. On the left, the ProFluid plus 15, and on the right, the ProFluid plus 34. Details you will see now. So ProFluid plus 15, the name comes from the diameter of the filter element. The diameter is 150 millimeters, and the filter elements are 410 millimeters at height. So flow direction is outside to inside. As well, we have backflushing filter types or filter media, our Teflon media. And the specialty here is all the PF15 elements are made in Germany with fully automatic production. As well, we use glue-free end caps. And we do this in a manufacturing process with infrared welding. That means you don't have glue inside your loop, which you don't want. Next slide gives you the complete overview of the PF15 range. On the top, you see the usage level. You can use our elements with flow rates Optimal 25 liters per minute, maximum again 100 liters per minute. So on the top we have the ProFluid Plus B and C, two different kinds of cellulose meteors, but then it goes finer to mixed fiber, which means a mixture between cellulose and Teflon, and synthetic meteor. And the finest meteor is a Teflon filter element, which is used for backflushing usually. As well, you see the service life. We measured everything with the same dust load. So this gives you an idea about the usage time. One of the USPs is a big filtration area we have if you compare it to filter candles or even bag type filters. As well, we have a stainless steel housing for these elements. It's a two-stage housing, and it's made for operating pressure up to 7 bars, and you can combine our housings with some piping. Now coming to the next product line, Pf34. Again, the name Pf34 comes from the diameter 340 millimeters, and this product line is available at two different heights, at 450 millimeters and 300 millimeters. Here, the flow direction is the opposite. Flow direction is from inside to outside, and you connect these filter elements with a so-called Chemlock adapter. You don't know what this is. This is an industrial system similar to Gardena couplings you probably use in your garden. As well, the elements can be used for pressure differences up to 3 bars, and the dust is caught inside this metal, I call it housing, or black painted metal. So it's a really clean service when you change the elements. The good on this system is that you don't need in every case an external housing. Of course, many customers put these elements in a housing, but it's possible to use it as a standalone solution. You only put the elements on a metal grid, and the filtered loop is coming out of these filter elements and flowing down to the metal grid into an oil sump. So it's really a competitive solution, which is often used for retrofitting. As well, we replace some smaller pre-coat filters here, but there are many other use cases as well. Okay, again, the overview of the product range. Here, 4 different types depending on your process again. But finally, it's 8 types because of the 2 different heights. And what is really interesting here is if you look at ProFluid Plus C, for example, you have 25 square meters of filter media area. That's best in class. I've never seen this at competitors. So here you can replace many filter elements, or if you replace even bag time filters, it's 50 times as much. Okay, going to the next slide. Now, finally, all the product benefits we have. You will have shorter and faster machining times. You will have better surface qualities, lower tolerances. You have a clean and user-friendly service. You will have less downtime of your complete system. You will have less oil loss, which costs a lot of money, less maintenance costs, less wear and tear of your toolings, even less disposal costs, and a longer usage of your fluids. Finally, it's really a cost-efficient solution. And for example, if you compare the price per square meter of filter media, it's also unbeatable and we are as well competitive compared to even bag type filters. So it's really a low invest compared to other filtration systems. And here on the right, you can see some customers who put our Pf34 system in some racks. That's it from my side. If you have questions, you can ask me later on after Norbert's presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Münch, for this first part of the presentation. We're now coming to the second part, and I hand over to Mr. Maurer. You are now able to share your screen. Yeah, perfect. You have just to unmute your microphone and you can start.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Wogon, also for a short introduction and handover. Yeah, my name is Norbert Maurer, and I want to present you now our so-called Good, Better, Best program, which we try now to introduce also in all our different EDM filter versions. So EDM filtration at a new level.
Mr. Maurer, you are muted. Okay.
Now,
yep.
Now it's okay. So you can see here our EDM filter range H15 filters, as also mentioned in Markus' presentation. H15 is for EDM, Pf15 then for this other product line for honing, grinding and lapping. And it always means the first numbers, then 15 means the diameter, which is 150 millimeters. This is our, let's say, very well-known EDM filter line. And if you go back about 20 or 30 years, then the first EDM machines were always equipped with, on the right side shown, metal filters. And yeah, in our range, we started at this time also with different metal filter, finally survived until today, 2 part numbers, and one is still used in wire. This is called the H50-190/6N, which is 3 to 5 micron efficiency. And then we have the sinker filter in metal still on the right side, which is called H15475. And this is also a 3 to 5 micron filter. Honestly, again, still a lot of customers or end users still like to use that filter. But over the years and years, again, our sales numbers here are reduced, go down year per year. And again, since we introduced our plastic filters, which are shown here on the left side, more and more of these filters, let's say, are used in the market. And mainly also what I want to present here is this Good, Better, Best version, that we have the wire EDM filter and the sinker filter. And the typical OE filter for the EDM machines is for wire, the H50-190/16, which is shown here on the left side with the white end cap. And for the sinker, we always offer the H5475/1, 3 to 5 micron. The big difference between these two filters is the filtration area, which is on the wire filter 3.1 square meter, and in the case of H5475/1, 4.5. So we have here about 50% more in filtration area. Then again, regarding some customer requirement, and this is always important to know, the OEM, so the machine manufacturer, always has to decide which filter he uses for OEM application. And these are always these 2 filters nowadays for H15. But the end user always, let's say, has different needs, different application, different processes. And so we also offer, let's say, other filters for this application, which I show also here. One of them is the so-called E-line. The E-line filter has the same filtration efficiency, but a reduced filtration area. Additionally, we use what you can see here, black end caps, black plastic end caps. That means we can use here a so-called recyclate, which is, let's say, lowering our cost for the plastic for this design. And so we can offer this filter also in different market for a better pricing instead of the original filter. The high-end filter for the wire machine then is shown here on the right side, which is then the H3490/1. This is a mixed fiber, a multi-layer, which can, let's say, have on the one side a good dirt hold capacity, but additionally filters in the range of 1 to 2 micron. Then for the sinker, I showed you here 3 elements in total, as mentioned before, the OEM filter, which is the H5475/1. But then also, let's say from history-wise, we also still have customers and users asking for lower filtration efficiency. So we also still offer in our range a 10 micron filter, which is simply called an H5190/10, and also a 25 micron filter, which is then called /25. As Markus also mentioned in his presentation, we have the H15 filters. We always have the infrared welded end cap. So this is something, a unique feature for us. So we don't use any glue and directly connect the plastic end cap with our media. We have the different filtration surface for different applications, as I already mentioned, and in 4 different micron fineness available. And out of this experience we have over so many years with our H15 product line, we developed now new our H34 series. And the H34 series is, as you might know, very important for many EDM machines coming also from Japan, from Asia. Also also a lot of the machines from GF Machining Solution now is also using these big filters. So for the future, I can tell you, let's say the H34 filters will be more and more, let's say, available in the market. And H15 filters might, let's say, not disappear completely, but again, there are a lot of advantages of this H34 and will be focused in the future more and more. Because that's what also Markus already mentioned, it's inside outside, so we have the dirt inside. It's an easy handling, it's an easy service. Also quick connectors allow you very fast to take the filter out of the machine instead of opening many housings. The dirt is inside, as I said, and again, we can go up to 25 square meter filtration area, where finally we can, with one filter, also capture a lot of dirt. And here also we designed the so-called good, better, best program. Going first on the right side, best. So we developed a so-called triple bellow filter with synthetic media, 1 to 2 micron. And this filter is today used also on Seibu and Makino OE machines. What means all these machines are coming today, even with that filter in the global market. But as we know, let's say, end users, let's say maybe if they have high-end machines, they really use this very high-end filter over 1 to 5 years, maybe. But then we definitively also know there is a request for lower cost filter or for filters where you are doing whatever. So that's why we said we don't only need the very best solution, we also want to offer a better and a good solution. And the difference is when you go then to the all-rounder, the better solution, is that we have here always cellulose media in the range of 3 to 5 micron. And then we have always what you see on top, we offer a plastic filter always in the better and best. And then we offer always a metal filter. So again, it depends on the end user, on the customer. Some of them insist because of recycling topics, because of different things, they want to have a plastic, others want to have metal. So we offer both applications or both solutions. And finally, and this is quite new, we introduced now also a so-called long life filter, what you see on the bottom. This is always only available in metal filters. And the synthetic filter is really our newest high-end product. What you see on the right side on the bottom, this is 2380 filter. On the left side also, again, it's not the biggest market for us, but we know they are also for quite older machines, sometimes only used some hours per day or even per week. A customer does not really need a very high-end best solution. So he is fine with a baseliner with a good filter. And here we offer our filtration efficiency, which is in the same way. So we can say that this has the same result than a better filter, but we know it does not have this dirt hold capacity, this long lifetime. And so this filter can be used on applications for maybe older machines in the market. One important thing is also to know all filters are named /14 when they have a quick connector and /15 when they have an installation or 2 gaskets on the end cap, and then they are normally used on Zodic machines. Yeah, in den jetzt. This is one chart I want to show you, the H26 filters. They are today, let's say, we changed all these filters to black painting. The background is here that on the left side you see they had in the past a not painted chromated end cap, and this did not follow the so-called REACH legislation. MANN+HUMMEL committed to this legislation, and we said all our EDM filter we offer, if they are in plastic or metal, they follow this REACH legislation, and that means the outer appearance of this filter change, but this is also agreed with our OEMs. And they are mainly used on Makino Sinker machine, and all the filters shown here on the right side are already in Makino usage for OEM and also for the, let's say, aftermarket sales. This is a summary of top seller filters. You see here then, let's say 90%. So these filters, what we show here, represent, I think, 90% of our sales. I already talked about 150 diameter, 260 and 340. In the case of 310, I want to highlight here also that we introduced here a new filter, which are also a good, better, best program. H31 is mainly Taiwanese machines. In the past, we only had the standard H31 1033 with 10 square meter. Now we have a 1680, which we call better, and this is 17.4 square meters. So we increase the service life or the filtration area by 70%. And now we are in the final stage to introduce our H31 7080 with a synthetic media. So this is very new for us. In, let's say, now we make the first samples for that application, but we want to introduce mid of the year this synthetic filter, and they will have then first time also the 1 to 2 micron synthetic media inside. Finally, my last slide I want to show is also our production network for that. So we clearly, let's say, made our production strategy in that way that we say all the plastic filter, if H15, Pf15 or H34 in plastic, they all are produced today in Germany. So all these filters are made in Germany. And in the case of metal filters, we have two locations. One is in China and one is in India. And these filters will be produced then in Asia today. That was my presentation. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you have any question, please feel free. And I hand over to Mr. Bogun again.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Maurer, as well, for your presentation. We're coming now to the questions and answers. As I said in the beginning, you are now able to ask any questions directly to the speakers. Just use the question box to type in your questions, and we will answer them right now. And I can already see some incoming questions. I think the first ones are for Mr. Münch. I will just read them out and you can answer them, Mr. Münch, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so I have the first question, and this is the presentation focused on metal cutting processes. Are the filter elements usable for other applications as well? For example, cleaning of metal parts.
Yes, our filter elements are used for cleaning, industrial cleaning as well. And there are customers which are using the filter elements as well for totally other kind of processes, like dip coating, galvanization, so which is a process after your grinding process or other metal cutting process. But filter elements are even used to filter wastewater or some other kind of coolants, like cutting coolants, for example.
All right, thank you very much. And I have a second question as well for you, Mr. Münch. Just a moment. And the second question is, can I buy filter elements directly from your company?
It depends. So MANN+HUMMEL is a quite huge company with over 20,000 employees worldwide. And we can supply our products, of course, to OEMs, bigger distribution companies or service companies. And sometimes we can also provide the products to end users, but it needs to have a certain level. So we are manufacturing over 20 filter elements per second, but of course counted with our automotive filters. So we are not able to do individual installations at a single plant if a customer only needs 2 to 5 filter elements or something like this. In this case, we have service partners. We will recommend them to you if you are a smaller end user. So finally, it depends on your demand and if we can manage it. For smaller demands, we use distributors and service companies or installation partners. I hope this answered the question.
All right, yes, I guess this answered it. I just take a look if there's any more incoming questions. I can see one more question for you, Mr. Münch. What's about bigger particles in metal cutting processes?
Yeah, that's a very good question. My presentation concentrated on fine filtration, which is more and more needed with a nicer material surfaces you want without any kind of scratches. So usually our fine filtration solutions are the second stage. At the first stage, a belt filter usually is mounted, or some magnetic filters or even other kind of filter system. So for the large diameter particles, they have to filter out at first, because otherwise our filter media will clog pretty fast. So we are here only at the fine filtration stage. But if you need the complete solution, we have very good customers. They offer the complete range. So here our filter elements are used by the main and most known filter system manufacturers worldwide.
All right, perfect. That's the open questions for you, Mr. Münch, for the moment. But I can see some more open questions for you, Mr. Maurer, and I will just read them out as well. Mr. Maurer, the first question is, when are the new H34 filters available and what is the delivery time?
Yes, so the new filters, I think this is the synthetic media they call about, because we just introduced this very new in the market. So I have the information that, as I mentioned, they are produced in Asia, in China, and I have the information that these filters are already produced. They are now picked up, and it takes about 4 or 5 weeks with the container to arrive here in Europe. So in Europe, they will be available on stock in, let's say, I think 9th or 10th of March, they should arrive. And from then on, we have now already a planning of, let's say, ongoing production for these filters, because we know we already have customer orders in-house, and also still requirements for that, or also for trainings. So we want to continue now from March, let's say mid of March, we are able to deliver, and then we'll continue, let's say month by month, we get then new shipments also to Europe. And also my colleagues in America wait for this. So my colleague already also planned to bring them into the USA. In Asia itself, it will be organized, so they are already produced and can be also available there soon from stock.
Okay, then there we have a second question for you, Mr. Maurer, and it says, which filters are today typical OE products released by machine producers?
Yeah, so this is what I mentioned. Also, I think before is this triple bellow filter, what we have in the H34 synthetic. This filter is today used on Seibu and on Makino OE machines. Then we have still our H34 cellulose filter long life. We have this on the typical GF machines. We now are introducing also this synthetic filter long life, and hope that this will soon come then also in the OE machines from GF machining solution. Beside that, we have still our H15, the better and best is still also used on some machines for the GF wire and sinker machine. And we have, as I showed then, the H26. These are typically filters for the sinker machines in Makino. And now again introducing, we have now 3 products for them already. And one more German producer is the company sinker machine producer OPS Ingersoll. They used in the past our good filter H31 1033, which has 10 square meter, but in the new machines they always use the better pro filter, which is H31 1680. And again, our new synthetic, this is our target now to introduce this in the future. Let's see if this is really necessary for the sinker machines, but for us, definitively it's for sinker, or also for Taiwanese applications product, what we are looking forward to introduce in this market.
All right, thank you very much for this explanation. I can now see. Oh, just one more question is coming in now for you, Mr. Maurer, as well. Why do you offer plastic and metal filters? What is the difference, and when should I use which version?
Yeah, this is a little trick again from the past, as I showed before. A metal filter that was, let's say, 20, 30 years ago, there was not existing really plastic. And again, still many people say metal filter is still robust enough, or pressure stability, this is better. The other thing is, again, also regarding recycling, that some of the end users still say a metal filter filters metal dirt, and we can then recycle it easier as with metal. So this is one, let's say, direction. But honestly, we made from TÜV, we have a certificate, or we also analyze then all the recycling concepts, or what they recommend to us, and they told us clearly go ahead with plastic, because both filters should be burned normally. A plastic filter is lighter in weight, or has lower weight. That means if you pay later on for recycling, it's always by kilograms, and then the plastic filter with the initial lower weight is better. Even it has plastic burns better, so this helps even to save oil or gas for the burning process when you burn the filters. And so again, my main recommendation, or let's say our direction, is always going with the plastic filter for high-end product. But as I said before, when we had this strategy or this concept, I saw still we cannot reach different customers which still insist, or regions which say, I insist on my metal filter. This is something I used over years and I want to use. So we offer still both versions, because we want to, as you know, we are a global company and we want to serve the global market. And we know in different areas it's different what end users are doing. Again, recommendation is plastic, but we also offer the metal.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it for the open questions for the moment. But we will just wait a little longer to give you time to enter your questions. Of course, you're able and welcome to ask any question after today's presentation as well. You can see the contact data of Mr. Maurer right now on the screen. You can find the contact data of both speakers in the handouts. You can download them and ask any questions later, of course. And also you can use the web session homepage. There's also the opportunity to get in touch with the speakers, and we will forward your messages to them. That's just for your information. But I cannot see any open questions for the moment. So I think the audience is satisfied and happy. So Mr. Münch, Mr. Maurer, if you want to address some final words to the participants, you can now you have now the opportunity.
From my side,
again, okay, well, Markus first, yeah.
From my side, Mr. Bogun, I can't add anything. Just contact me if you have questions regarding the PF plus filtration system. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation and learned something as well. And then I have achieved what I wanted today. Thank you. Norbert, now you can.
Again, I also thanks also for the organizer, Mr. Bogun. It was a great opportunity, and thanks for the participants to join here. Again, in Corona times, everything is different. We are happy about this opportunity to be able to present here during this METAV web session. Our product, for sure, we all, I think, cannot wait to do it officially on a fair or in direct customer contacts. But again, it's something Yeah, also new for me now, these web sessions, but again, a great opportunity, and thanks for joining.